So I've made a lot of hi-fi videos over the years, obviously mostly about hi-fi equipment and just talking about how stuff sounds and how it performs and things like that. However, I have made a few videos that have been critical of sort of the, let's call it the hi-fi glitterati. Basically this perspective of things have to be a certain way or otherwise they're not audiophile. And anyway, let's talk about it. So this video might be kind of rambling slightly because my thoughts on the subject are a little bit kind of convoluted. So for me to verbally discuss it in a video is going to be kind of a little convoluted. So I apologize about that, but please stay with me. Anyway, what I mean by that glitterati is, of course, that being a derogatory term by people effectively kind of in control of a situation, of a perspective, of a movement, or just in general a societal, consciousness. Things for them and their perspective of a certain level of control, they are under the assumption that things, or they create the assumption that things have to be a certain way, that speakers have to be a certain distance apart, they have to be away from the wall. You can't have your equipment off to the side, or in between your speakers, it has to be off to the side. Or you can't hang your speakers from the wall. They have to be on stands. They have to be this. That basically hi-fi, listening to music as an audiophile, it has to be this way. And, throughout my life, throughout the history of my life, I really I've always been super critical. It's really critical. And it seems like the older I get, the more critical I become of this idea that things, of really any situation, things have to be this way for them to be good, or for them to be considered good. I used to be in cycling. I used to be, I don't want to say a pro cycling. I wasn't a pro. But I used to get up, dress up in the spandex outfits and get on in the special click-in shoes, and I would go ride. I've done centuries, which are 100-mile rides. I've done multiple centuries in a row. I've done off-road rides. Looking at me now, it doesn't look like it, but, I used to love doing that. And one of the things that killed that hobby for me, and of course it's a personal thing, it's not everybody would find that same perspective, of course, but one of the things that happened with that hobby for me is that a lot of the people around me that participated with me, they seemingly had this perspective that things had to be a certain way. Oh, you can't use mountain bike pedals on a road bike, otherwise you're not a real cyclist. Oh, you can't have a handlebar bag on your road bike, or otherwise you're not a real cyclist. Oh, you don't have carbon fiber wheels? Oh God, you're not a real cyclist. And that is the perspective I'm talking about with hi-fi. Is, if we don't do these things, what they say we need to do, then we're not real enthusiasts. We're not real audiophiles. We're not real this. We're not real that. And it's something that has always perturbed me because at the end of the day, the basic, it's an old philosophical argument, and I forget who it was. Maybe it was Voltaire, or I forget. But in any case, the perspective, the philosophical argument is that we determine our reality. And if you look at the basis of society around us on a more broad level, we do determine our reality. We create the world around us. So theoretically, anything could be anything that we want it to be, because we make up the rules. And so therefore, it can be fucking anything. You know what I mean? And that applies to hi-fi. Why not have your speakers upside down hanging from the fucking ceiling? Why not have your fucking amplifier in the toilet in the bathroom with the speakers running, with the cables running to the living room? Why not have fucking your equipment in one room and your speakers on the roof, or your turntable next door, across the street with 300-foot RCA cables? Who gives a fuck? it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, none of this fucking shit matters. Now, I do have my equipment set up a certain way, which does seemingly conform to audiophile standards, but I only have it that way because it sounds fucking awesome. But that doesn't mean anything. That just means for the room and the situation and everything, I've discovered that this layout makes a lot of sense sonically. Okay? But that said, though, I have had systems where I've stuck speakers in bookcases and get great, fantastic sound. And I bring up this video, and and in other ways, and I bring up this video to reiterate my frustration with this idea that audio and more broadly the enjoyment of music, because it comes together at sort of this juxtaposition of music and audio being the gear and the equipment that we use to listen to the music, that these two things are interrelated more than they really are. Because I think a lot of audiophiles are gear obsessed, me included. We enjoy, especially men, we enjoy gear. We enjoy the prospect of getting a new amplifier, getting new speakers, getting new this, getting new that, getting new consumption. We enjoy that aspect. But that aspect in and of itself, I've discovered over the years, does not lead oftentimes to more enjoyment. It just leads to more consumption. Which is why I've pulled away. I've really tried to distance myself when I talk about gear from matters of better or good or this item blows that item out of the water, any of that fucking bullshit. I've really tried to distance myself from this sort of rhetoric, because at the end of the day, at a basic level, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't make any sense, and ultimately it doesn't matter. Hi-fi, listening to music can be and should be whatever the hell you want it to be, okay? It can be a Bluetooth speaker sitting in the fucking corner, or something you have hanging in your kitchen, or whatever. It can be fucking anything, and that can be hi-fi. And it can be hi-fi because at the basis of it, it's all about creating better enjoyment for music. And whatever enables you to have better enjoyment for music makes you an audiophile. And if that means a Bluetooth speaker, then so be it. So anyway, peace out.